Hey, Shalom, brother Nashan here with New Wine Congregation of Israel. All right, back with another class. Today we're going to talk about God's high holy days versus holidays. God's high holy days versus holidays. All right, let's get into it. Let's open up the Bible because we got to know the difference, man. Coming out of the world, when we still in the world, we just taught to celebrate holidays. You got to ask yourself, why do I do that? Why do you celebrate Christmas? Why do you celebrate your birthday? All right, most of us do it because that's what we was taught in slavery. All right, so God's high holy days versus holidays. Let's start out with birthdays. I'm gonna just do a search, word search, birthday. Let's see who celebrated birthday. Let's see what comes up. All right, birthday in the KJV Bible. All right, so it says here, Matthew 14:6. But when it was Herod's birthday, when Herod's birthday was kept, and the daughter of the Herodians danced before him, it pleased Herod. All right, so understand what's going on right here. Let's go into the verse. All right. It says it was Herod's birthday. Herod was the same man who tried to have Yahushua killed. He killed all the male children 2 years old and under, all right, to stop the birth of Yahushua, to stop him from becoming king. All right. So this birthday party is taking place while John the Baptist, all right, is in jail. All right. And he's in jail because he told Herod that it was unlawful for him to have his brother's wife. That's adultery. All right. So let's keep going. So his daughter-in-law, let me see, let me go back. It says the daughter of the Herodians danced before him and pleased Herod. So this is like his niece. All right. This is like his niece dancing before him. And it wasn't no regular dance she was doing. All right. She was doing some nasty dancing in front of this man. This man is nasty, man. So he looking at his niece dancing. It says, whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. You got to understand, she was doing some dance. She probably was the first person to ever twerk. She was doing quite a dance for him to say, look, you can have whatever you want. Whatever it is you want, you can have it. That's what he did. Right? Let's keep going. It says, and she being before instructed of her mother, so her mother already told her, go twerk on him. And when he gonna like it, because he a little nasty old man. When he asks you whatever you want, you ask for John. This is what he say, and said, give me here John Baptist's head on in a charger. Right? So he swore with an oath to give her whatever he wanted. It says, and the king was sorry, nevertheless, for the oath's sake, and them which sat with him at meat during his birthday, he commanded it to be given her. All right. So he had a man killed for her on his birthday. Gotta understand that birthdays are a wicked celebration. All right. Let's go back. Watch some more what happened on birthdays. All right. Genesis 40 in verse 20. It says, and it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants and lifted up the head. Lift up somebody's head mean you done cut their head off. He lifted up the head of the chief butler and the chief baker among his servants. All right, so another person's head got chopped off on somebody's birthday. That's why a lot of times, even today, birthday parties is when a lot of people get killed, whether they had it at their house, they go out to a club and have it. A lot of the times, people are going out and doing the most wickedness on birthdays. The Most High God never told you to celebrate your birthday. All right, watch this. Let's go on the internet. This is what I found. All right, birthday. Watch this. Look what Satanists say about birthdays. Let me blow it up. Watch this. The satanic Bible and birthdays, the idolatry of self-esteem, the highest of Satan's holy days. Birthdays are a satanic holy day. You got to understand, brothers and sisters, you either worship God or you worship the devil. There is no in between. You worship God or you worship the devil. And the only way to know who you worshiping is by to look at your life and compare it to the Bible. Are you doing what wicked people was doing in the Bible, or are you doing what righteous people was doing in the Bible? All right. It says there is an affinity of such commemoration among the wicked as recorded in the satanic Bible. The enlightenment regarding birthdays, right? It says the highest. You got to understand this. The Satanists themselves. He say the highest of all holidays in the satanic religion is the date of one's own birthday. You got to understand that, brothers and sisters. This thing is wicked. It's not of God. Satan been on the earth. He been around. Before you I start thinking, well, that was back then, Pharaoh and Herod. These people were worshiping the devil too. It says this is in direct contradiction to the holy of holy days of other religions, which defy a particular God who has been created in an anthropomorphic form of their own image, meaning you defying the God who made you in their image when you celebrate your birthday. All right. It says, where I left off, thereby showing that the ego is not really buried, meaning when you celebrate your birthday, you're going after your pride. You're showing pride in yourself. You're esteeming yourself. It's my day. It's my birthday. All right. Let me show you something. We're going to come back to this. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Let me find it real quick. I'm shooting from the hip. I ain't really even prepared for this, to teach this necessarily. All right, let's go to the book of Sirach real quick. Chapter 9. It's on my Most High. All praise to the Most High. He put it on my spirit. I was like, it's a few things I want to teach on, man, and this was one of them. All right, Sirach, chapter 9, chapter 10, and verse 12. Watch this. It says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh. So your pride starts the moment you stop keeping the commandments, you're starting to delve into pride. All right. It says, and his heart, his mind is turned away from his maker. If your mind is turned away from your maker, it means you're thinking about yourself now. All right. It says, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. Soon as you start dabbling in the pride, you're going to start doing everything that God hates. People have commit fornication on their birthday. You may have somebody say, well, I'll get to church on my birthday. Well, what did you do after that? You more than likely ate unclean foods. You may say, oh, I read the Bible. Well, if you read the Bible long enough, you'll see that birthdays is not something that God's people was doing. All right. It says, and therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly because of the pride. You know what a strange calamity is? You celebrating your birthday and then a stray bullet fly and hit you and kill you, or hit your daughter, or you get in a car accident, or just something crazy just go to happening on your birthday. Last time I tried to celebrate my birthday, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. And that's because it's satanic. All right, let's go back to the internet. It says it's the highest of all holidays in a satanic religion is the date of one's own birthday. This is in direct contradiction to the holy of holy days of other religions, which defy a particular God who has been created in the anthropomorphic form of their own image, thereby showing that the ego is not really buried. You still got that pride celebrating your birthday. The Satanist feels, why not really be honest if you're going, why not really be honest? And if you're going to create a God in your image, why not create that God as yourself? Meaning, just worship yourself, reverence yourself, right? Every man is a God if he chooses to recognize himself as one. So the Satanist celebrates his own birthday as the most important holiday of the year, more than damn Halloween. Halloween ain't as bad as celebrating your birthday. This is what they saying. All right. He says, I'm gonna skip down. He says, do I want to skip down? Let's keep reading. After all, aren't you happier about the fact that you were born than you are about the birth of someone you have never ever even met? Or for that matter, aside from religious holidays, why pay higher tribute to the birthday? Why pay higher tribute to the birthday of a president or to a date in history than we do the day we were brought into the greatest of all worlds? All right, let's get down. You should give yourself a pat on the back, buy yourself whatever you want, treat yourself like a king or god that you are, and generally celebrate your birthday with as much pomp and ceremony as possible. Because that's what they really do. When people celebrate their birthday, man, they trying to big themselves up. They having a big party, all right? They trying to eat stuff they wouldn't normally eat. They treating themselves, right? And you doing this is reverencing yourself and worshiping yourself. It's self-worship, all right? It's not nothing that a person who claims to worship the Most High God should ever be a part of, all right? Look at it. He said, only sinners rejoice over this kind of birthday. It says, not one from all the saints is found to have celebrated a festive day or a great feast day on the day of his birth. Everybody know this, but the people who claim to love the Most High God. Not one person in the Bible, you can't find them that a righteous person celebrating their birthday. So why are you doing it? If you claim to be righteous, but you're not if you celebrate your birthday. All right. So that's birthday. Matter of fact, let's get this in Job. Let's go to Job. Let me see. I think it's Job chapter 2 or Job chapter 3. One of them. See, our forefathers knew and understood this, man. Job chapter 3 and verse 1. Matter of fact, we'll start up a little bit to get the understanding of what's going on. Matter of fact, we'll just get Job chapter 3 and verse 1. Watch this, what Job said about his birthday. All right. He said, after this, Job opened his mouth and cursed his day. His day is his birthday. Watch. He says, and Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said there is a man child conceived. So his day is his birthday. All right, y'all gotta see this. All right, watch this. Let's go to Job chapter real quick. I think it's chapter 1. Salakia, bear with me. Where is it at? Job chapter 1. Let's go there. All right, watch this. Job chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, and his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day. So remember, his day is talking about your birthday. All right. So he said, it's basically saying his sons feasted and had birthday celebrations and sent and called for their three sisters to eat and to drink with them. Don't tell them what all they was doing when they sit eating and drinking with their sisters. All right. And it said, and it was so when the days of their feasting were gone about that Job sent and sanctified them and rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their heart. Thus did Job continually. So Job wasn't sure, right? But he was like, man, something about what they doing don't look right. They over there reverencing themselves, right? It says, now there was a day. Now let me skip down to chapter. Let me skip down a little bit. Watch what happened to his sons. Verse 13. It says, and there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword. I am only escaped to come. I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of Yahweh is fallen from heaven and have consumed and burned the sheep, the servants and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels and have carried them away. Yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house on his birthday, right? And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So while they were celebrating their birthday, basically a tornado came and tore the house up and they died. You know what that is? Let's go back to Sirach. We just read it. It said, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. Therefore, Yahweh brought upon them strange calamities. That's a strange calamity for you to be sitting in your house celebrating your birthday, and then a wind come and just blow the whole house down and kill you and all your brothers and sisters. That's a strange calamity. It says, and overthrew them utterly. So bad things happen on people's birthdays, brothers and sisters. It's satanic. All right. It's satanic. All right. Let's go look at something else. Let's look at another thing that people celebrate often. Watch this. Christmas. All right. Christmas. Christmas is an annual festival commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ, observed primarily December 25th as a religious and cultural celebration. All right, so this is what Christmas is. People celebrate Christmas to commemorate the birthday of Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Right, but let's see. All right, it says the tradition Christmas narrative recounted the New Testament, recounted in the New Testament. It says basically they saying Christmas is found in the New Testament. We can't, let's go back, let's go to the book, the Bible. So if Christmas is recounted in the New Testament, we should be able to do a word search like we did birthday and find it. Christmas. No results, no matches. Christmas is not in the Bible. That's not in the Bible. All right. So let's go back. That's something that people made up. All right. It says, let me get to the origins. They ain't showing me what I'm looking for. Yeah, this really it right here. So December 25th, right? It says December 25th was considered the date of the winter solstice in the Roman calendar, though actually it occurred on the 23rd or the 24th at that time. All right, so the winter solstice, all right, that's when the earth pole, it says, occurs when either the earth poles reaches its maximum tilt away from the sun. All right, so that's the winter solstice. It says, hence it was it says a late 4th century sermon by St. Augustine explains why this was a fitting day to celebrate Christ's nativity. Hence, so they just attributed this to Yahweh Shai's birthday, which is not biblical. It says, hence, it is that he was born on the day which is the shortest in our earthly reckoning, and from which subsequent days begin to increase in length. So he just made that up. That ain't biblical. He says, he therefore who bent low and lifted us up chose the shortest day, yet the one whence light begins to increase. So they attributed the light increasing to when Yahweh Shai came on the earth, but that's not biblical. All right. It says, Malachi prophesied, unto you shall the Son of Righteousness arise, and healing is in his wings. That ain't got nothing to do with Christmas. All right, let's keep going. I'm trying to find. Trying to find more of like the. Here we go. It says the pre-Christian Germanic peoples, including Anglo-Saxons and the Norse, celebrated a winter festival called Yule, held in late December to early January period, yielding modern English Yule today used as the synonym for Christmas. So Yule and Christmas is the same thing. They just changed the name. All right, let's go into Yule. It says Yule is a winter festival historically observed by the Germanic people that was incorporated into Christmas during the Christianization of the Germanic peoples, and the modern period is celebrated separate to Christian festivals by adherents of some new religious movement. So basically what that's saying is, in order to make Germanic people be Christians, they brought one of their festivals into like Christendom. They said, okay, y'all celebrate Yule, we'll just call that Christmas. It's the same thing. And they said, okay, we'll do it. Then they just came on and did it. All right, so Yule and Christmas is the same thing. It says, including the Yule log, Yule boar, the Yule goat. All right, so look here. That's an ornament. A Yule goat is an ornament, right? All right. Let's get some more. Let's see. Let me do this. Watch this. All right. It says it was a custom of the pagans to celebrate on the same December 25th, the birthday of the sun. All right. So they called basically they was worshiping the sun during Yule, during the winter solstice, because they was so happy. You gotta understand, in these Germanic areas and these European areas, they already didn't have a lot of sunlight. So during the winter solstice, that was the start of them starting to get more sunlight. So they worship the sun. All right. And they attributed it at the worshiping the Son of God. All right. It says they would call this the birthday of the sun, at which they kindled lights in token of festivity. In these solemnities and revelries, the Christians took part. All right. So these are pagan holidays. Christmas, y'all already know Halloween is bad. Y'all already know that Thanksgiving is the celebration of the murder and slaughter of over 70 million Native Americans. All right. Excuse me. So watch this. I want to go into more of this. Matter of fact, let me get this precept. I'm going to show you the closest thing that references Christmas in the Bible. Watch this. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. This is the closest thing that resembles Christmas in the Bible. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Now, first, before I do this, Christmas tree. Let's look at an image of a Christmas tree. All right, Christmas tree. Ideal Christmas tree right there. All right. Ideal looking Christmas tree. All right. Keep all these images in mind before we read this Bible. Look at there. Christmas tree. Got the little gold on it. All right. Keep all that in mind. Now watch what the Bible say. It says, Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1, hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Keep in mind, Christmas is a pagan tradition. We weren't celebrating Christmas. All right. Nowhere in the Bible do the Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus, tell you, I want you to celebrate my birthday. It says, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Right? Worshiping the sun when the sun start giving more light. They do all that, right? It says, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. Right? They cut a tree out of the forest. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. All right. Now this was he going into the worship of what was it, Nebuchadnezzar, and something, a Babylonian tradition. All right. This is something that the Babylonians did. They would worship trees. They would do this with palm trees, right? But you got to understand there's no new thing under the sun. That Babylonian tradition just translated all the way to today as Christmas. All right. They deck it with silver and with gold. Look at the Christmas tree. Decked with silver and gold. Deck the halls with father. All that come from there. It stems all the way back to Babylon. That's why they call this place we live in today Babylon the Great, because it has all the attributes of ancient Babylon. All right. So we're not to be doing this. All right. Matter of fact, let's go to the Bible to see what we're supposed to be doing. Let's go to Sirach chapter 33 and verse number 7. All right. It says, why doth one day excel another? He's saying, what makes one day better than another day? Can we celebrate anything at all? Brother Nashan, you telling me not to celebrate my birthday, no Halloween, no Thanksgiving? I can't be thankful and just gather with my family? When am I supposed to celebrate? Right? He asking the same question here. Why doth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day is in the year of the sun of when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun, meaning every day gets its light from the sun shining. So what makes one day better than another day? All right, let's keep going. It says, by the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished. What's the knowledge of the Lord? So he said, he answering your question right here. What makes one day better than another day? And it says, by the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished. What's the knowledge of the Lord? Let's go to Malachi. What is the knowledge of the Lord? Because that's what tells us which days we are to celebrate. Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7. It says, for the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of Yahweh of hosts. So the knowledge of the Lord is the law. All right, let's go back. So it says that is what distinguishes one day from another, from what makes one day better than another, to tell you which days you should celebrate. Meaning, if the law don't tell you to celebrate that day, you shouldn't be celebrating it. If the law is this book, this whole book is the book of the law. If it ain't in here, you shouldn't be celebrating it. If God's people ain't celebrating it, you shouldn't be celebrating it. All right, so that's how they're distinguished. And he altered seasons and feasts. So where did he tell us about the seasons and feasts? All right, let's go to the book of Leviticus. Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 23. All right. It says, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them concerning the feast of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation. Even these are my feasts. So these are God's feasts. All right. 6 days shall work be done, but in the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. So the Sabbath day is a feast. The 7th day, which is Saturday, ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. Right? These are the feasts of the Lord, even the holy convocations which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. So when you read on down, this whole chapter is about the feast days of the Most High. Passover, first fruits, unleavened bread, Day of Atonement, Feast of Trumpets, the Sabbath day. All right, all the feasts of the Lord. We don't know how to celebrate these, but we know how to celebrate Halloween. We know how to, you gotta sit and ask yourself, why do I celebrate Christmas? It's because your slave master celebrated Christmas. It's because that just trickled down through history. And we looked at because we were slaves, we looked at Christmas. That's when master gonna be happy. He gonna give us a little extra food on that day. We looked at Christmas and all these holidays as an opportunity to be joyful because that's when our master was joyful. It's a result of slavery. All right. So you got to understand that about what you're celebrating, about what you're celebrating. If it's not in the Bible and God doesn't tell you to celebrate it, why are you celebrating it? It's because your slave master did. Watch this. Well, some of y'all might say, well, I'm celebrating it for this reason. I'm celebrating it because it's a tradition. This is when my family get together, and this when we eat and have a good time and enjoy each other. Let's see what Yahweh Shah said. All right. Matthew chapter 15 and verse 20, 15 and verse 3, right? He said, but he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandments of God by your tradition? So Christmas is your tradition. All right. It's not a law concerning the Most High God. Celebrating your birthday is your tradition. It's not a law. You can't say, well, I do it for this reason and that make it okay. Right. Let's go to the book of Job. You can't, that don't make it okay just because you saying you're doing it for whatever reason you're doing it for. Job chapter 14 and verse number 4. It says, who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. So if something started out satanic, it's always satanic. You can't dress it up and put Yahweh Shai name on it, put Jesus over it and say it's good now. No, that ain't how it works. You can't bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing. Once it's wicked, it's always wicked. All right, understand that. So you can't say, well, I'm just going to hang out with my family. You can say that, but that still makes it wicked, right? What are we supposed to do as worshipers of God? Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. All right, chapter 5. And verse 22. All right, it says, abstain from all appearance of evil. All right, so you may say, well, I'm in the truth now. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but you still go to your family's Thanksgiving dinner and I'm just coming here to eat. You're celebrating Thanksgiving because you're gathering with your family on that day. You're celebrating it. You look like you're celebrating it. The Bible says abstain from all appearance of evil. You don't need to do nothing that even look wicked. You need to be separate. All right. It's okay to be separate. It's a commandment to be separate. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. All right. It says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? Watch this, verse 16. And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols? Christmas is an idol. All right. Halloween is an idol. Your birthday, that's idolatry. That's self-reverence and worshiping things other than the Most High God. All right. That turkey that's sitting on that table is an idol. All right, because you can't ask anybody, can they celebrate Thanksgiving without the turkey? They're gonna say, well, it ain't Thanksgiving. You ain't got no turkey, you ain't got no cranberry sauce, no dressing. Those are idols. There are used in the reference and worship of Thanksgiving. That's what makes Thanksgiving Thanksgiving. The turkey and the dressing and the cranberry, all that stuff. That what you don't usually eat hot wings at Thanksgiving. That you usually don't eat turkey. That's an idol attributed to Thanksgiving. So you can't do these things and be a worshiper of the Most High. He says, verse 17, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate. Stop going over there with your family and celebrating these days with them. Be separate. It saith Yahweh, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. You got to stop touching that unclean thing, and then the Most High God will receive you. So God's high holy days have to do with giving reverence to the Most High God, giving praise and worship to him. You can't mix that with worshiping of devils. You can't mix that together. You can't say it's my birthday, I'm finna worship God. No, God is a spirit. If you're gonna worship him, you gotta worship him in spirit and in truth by keeping the commandments of the Most High God. You can't do it the way that you want to do it and say, that's what I'm doing. It don't work like that, brothers and sisters. We got to do what God said to do. All right. So I'm going to keep this video pretty short. God's high holy days versus holidays. All right. Holidays are not in the Bible. The word holiday is where you get the word. The word holy day is where you get the word holiday from. All right. It's just Satan transforming himself into an angel of light. But you really worshiping the devil. All right. Straight up, plain and simple. You either worship God or you worship the devil. And most of the whole world is cool with worshiping the devil. All right. We'll put this information out like this, and people are still gonna celebrate and worship the devil because they don't care. All right. You shouldn't want to be associated with anything that's got to do with worshiping the devil, but you still gonna celebrate your birthday. You still gonna take your little girl on her birthday to Chuck E. Cheese or whatever the case. That's not something that God's people will ever do. All right. So Most High willing, this was edifying. All praises, all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, through the name of his son, Yahweh Shah. All right. All praises to the Most High. And we'll catch you next time. Shalom.